David Pearson making a bold move up in the middle of the pack as Jody Scheckter in the gold, number 16, jumps into the lead. And we've got an accident off the start. That's Bobby Ellison, number 4, on the wall. And Bobby Unser, number 11, bangs into the wall. And my goodness, look at Bobby Unser's Camaro. Absolutely caved in on the right side. He's trapped in the car.
Bobby, that was quite
a hot day in Riverside, California, about 60 miles east of Los Angeles. Good crowd has gathered to watch the best drivers in the world. Hello again, everybody. I'm Al Michaels, welcoming you to Riverside International Raceway. For Gordon Johncock, who is in third spot right now, the problem is to overtake the leaders. At Riverside, Al Unser is out in front, maintaining his advantage over Richard Petty in second place. And into the pits right now, Benny Parsons in the red car, number 8. Benny Parsons into the pits.
Well, during these very short pit stops, when you lose a lot of time like this, it's almost impossible. We have Chris Economaki down in the pits there. He's checking up what might be the case. Do you know what the story is, Chris?
No, but Benny is right here. Perhaps we can get a word from him as they changed the right front tire. What's the trouble, Benny?
Right rear tire went flat.
There you have, right from the driver, and it's going to cost him a lot of positions here in this International Race of Champions. Unless a yellow flag comes out, he is hopelessly in last place. The work is going rather slowly. He said the right rear tire, and the crew is changing the right front as well. This will give him a little bit better car to go to the track with when it's all over with, but the time consumed makes it next to impossible for him to make it up. And now, away he goes. Back to you, Al.
And so more bad luck for Parsons, who was involved in the accident with Al Holbert in race number 1. Gordon Johncock and Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti, oh, and he's gone off the road. Mario Andretti has half spun the car. He collected it. What a wonderful recovery Mario Andretti had there. He tucked his nose in behind there and in between Gordon Johncock going in, and somebody else has spun Al Holbert. Al Holbert spun off there. The reason that he spun off probably was that he saw the behavior of Mario Andretti, stood on the anchors, got the car sideways, and of course off the hard surface. Now that's the reaction of a driver who thinks that there's going to be a big shunt up front, a big crash up front. So perhaps we can see this once again in slow motion, because what Mario Andretti did was tuck himself in behind, and there the back end of the car went loose. Mario Andretti applied opposite lock. The car bounced over that desert surface there. How Mario Andretti collected that car, I'll never know. A wonderful recovery by Mario Andretti as he comes out of that what should have been a spin in my book, with great reflex action. So Mario Andretti collected that. He may well have damaged the front spoiler on this Camaro, because it's very, in fact he has. You can see that. Mario Andretti's the camera there. You can see the spoiler's been ripped away where it hit the ground. And Tom Sneva's had an accident. He's got it right into the barrier, has Tom Sneva. He's spinning the car to try and get the back end round. He's not coming away from the barrier.
And with Sneva pinned up against the rail air jacket, the yellow flag comes out. Laps run under the yellow do not count. Sneva had been racing in front. The man back of him now going into the pits, Cale Yarborough, and pitting under the yellow. That will cost him 1 lap. Chris Economaki is down in the pits.
But Yarborough's got a back bumper torn off, and he's calling instructions out to the pit crew. We're going to take a look back here at some of the metalwork that was torn off. Taking care of work on the back and right side tires on the car. The bodywork does not seem to be too badly damaged. The right rear corner suffered some work here. In fact, we're going to get a word with Neil Willer. He's asking for something cold to drink. Tough break for the man who has done so well in NASCAR stock car racing. How did it shape up, Cal?
Well, it was pretty rough back there in the back, Chris. Tom, Steve, and I got together and spun out down there.
There you have it. Cale and Tom spun out, but he's waiting and anxious to get back in. He has had 3 full glasses of a cold drink while he's waiting here. It's brutally hot here in the desert here in Riverside, California.
As he tries to keep control of the car, exiting turn 6 here. Look how he's using the road on the right-hand side, just in case Richard Petty tries to dip through there under braking inside him. He's not allowing him to do that. Richard Petty taking a wider line through turn 7. The car seems to handle very well. The black car, the lead car, number 7, Allenson. Look how close Richard Petty is as he comes out of here. Really accelerating down. Allenson coming out with a slight advantage, getting into the draft and the slipstream. King Richard Petty knows that there are only 2 laps to go. Can he make his overtaking move now? Going into this famous turn 9, and he's going to try and make a move on him now as he goes in there, but no. Al Unser gets the brakes off a little bit, and they're going into this last lap after they get round this famous turn 9. If Richard Petty's going to do it, he has to do it now. Further back in the field, by the way, Darrell Waltrip has got an advantage on Gunnar Nielsen. With the white flag, only 1 lap to go. Can Richard Petty try and sneak in the inside? This is where he did Groton John Cup before. Al Unser's moving over the racetrack. He can't do it. He's not going to do it this place in this lap. Al Unser, enormous experience, Al. Very unlikely for him to make a mistake now.
Unser won the race in Michigan. Richard Petty, who's right on his tail right now, finished 4th to pick up 12 points at Michigan. 21 points to the winner of the race, 17 for second. So it is Unser trying to make it back-to-back. Unser won the race in Michigan by slingshotting past Cale Yarborough on the final turn, and that's the position that Richard Petty will try to have to set himself up in as we come down to the end of the Iroc race at Riverside. But it's Unser who looks like he has things in command.
This is a crucial part of the racetrack now. If Richard Petty really makes a good job of this final part of turn 7 and turn 7.5 here as they go through there, Al Unser's car accelerating away, but Richard Petty is in the ideal position for drafting here, Al. This is the very last chance that he can have to get Al Unser. As they come down here, Al Unser knows it. He's not going to give an inch, obviously, as they come through here, the king. And Richard Petty's making his move to try to go to the outside because Al Unser really blocked him off as he went in there. He tried to move up on the inside, and Al Unser just simply blocked him. Richard Petty had no hope of getting through there.
Well, here they come out of turn number 9, and it is Al Unser who will cross the finish line ahead by a car length ahead of Richard Petty in a 2-man race. And there is Gordon Johncock. He will take the checkered flag to finish in 3rd place to pick up a total of 14 points. And in 4th place, Mario Andretti to pick up 12 points. Darrell Waltrip winds up 5th. Nielsen is 6th. Johnny Rutherford crossing the line in spot number 7. And Jackie Hicks winds up 8th.
Smog has dropped in on the mountain surrounding Riverside International Raceway in California. The scene today in the 3rd race of this year's series in the International Race of Champions, the World Series of Auto Racing. Good afternoon. I'm Jim McKay, speaking to you from our commentary position. Camaro and a street Camaro. Back out on the course, the race for sure goes on. There goes Rutherford by still dicing with Darrell Waltrip for 5th place, but both of them beginning to move up on Sneeland. He got into trouble again, Jackie.
And he's made another little mistake. The car sort of went sideways there a little bit, gave a little wiggle, and then you see Johnny Rutherford coming inside him to try and overtake him. Going
He's got it.
Oh, Johnny!
There he goes.
He spun off the road. It seemed that he didn't just get his braking point right. He's disappeared in a cloud of sand there in this desert. Johnny Rutherford, the Indianapolis driver, trying to get the car pointing in the right direction. He hasn't lost his way, getting the power back.
On Sneva right now looks like he may finally get him, and Petty also moving up on Sneva in the black car.
And Petty trying to go through in the inside underneath Tom Sneva. The touch there, the puff of smoke as they touch. Tom Sneva gets into the infield, gonna spin. He doesn't spin, he holds it in that desert. He nearly spin, really keeping the car on the road. What a lovely way to hold that big long slide.
Boy, a tough afternoon for Tom Sneva, though, battling for survival in this year's series of the International Race of Champions. There's the leader. It's been a great performance so far by young Al Hobart in race 3 of the International Race of Champions series, still leading with Cale Yarborough in 2nd place. Very close, however. Cale just sitting right there as he has been for a long time. And now it looks like he's going to make a move, Jackie.
Cale Yarborough on the outside going into turn 9, a very unusual way to try and get past there. Al Hobart will be using the road on the right-hand side. And Al Hobart spinning. Al Hobart's going off the road well, almost leading this race. He's led from the start. What a disappointment.
Well, you can see he only has 4 points after 2 races, and now as one car after another goes past it. Here it is again.
And here we see this pass. The car on the right-hand side, the darker color car there, car number 15, Cale Yarborough, on the outside going into a right-hand corner. Very unusual way to try and overtake because he's got to go round the car on the inside. Suddenly, Al Hobart's car seems to accelerate. A puff of smoke, as if he's got onto the brakes and they've grabbed. Then he starts to go into the infield. You can see the smoke there, and look how Mario Andretti gets past him there. This is where good race drivers are looking ahead all the time.
Do not count, unlike other brands of racers. There's Sneva in the pits. Now, any pit stop made under the yellow costs the driver 1 lap. That means that Sneva's out of it just about. Al Holbert, the other unfortunate, has returned to the pit area now.
Prominent now, a real puff of smoke, but there's no smoke coming out of that man's car. Cale Yarborough, the leader as he goes through there, driven very well all the way through, and this is the final lap. The white flag is out.
Okay, and still the battle goes on, remember, between Parsons and Ickx. Now, Jackie Ickx has Benny Parsons and finish ahead of him in this race. Ickx would go on to Daytona, actually be tied in points for the series, but because of a special rule, we'll explain, should that happen, Ickx would be the one to go to Daytona. Of course, should Parsons finish ahead of Ickx where he is right now, Benny will be the one to go to Daytona. Meanwhile, Johnny Rutherford, who might have been in trouble, as Passport and Johncock has moved into 9th place. That assures him of a spot in the final race. Johncock was already assured of one. Kind of complicated, but that's the way it sets up. Up in front, Cale Yarborough is the leader. We have Mario Andretti in 2nd place now, and the series leader, remember him.
Last lap, you had orange front there, that's Cale Yarborough going in for Mario Andretti in car number 11 there to pass him, but look how close they are going into this final turn 9. They're entering turn 9 now. There's no chance to pass, I don't think. And there you see Mario Andretti, a very clean driver, the leader there as he comes through these final 200 yards.
And here is Cale Yarborough, one of the great racing drivers of the world, headed for the checkered flag and victory in this 3rd of the 4-race International Racing Champion Series. There was Andretti taking 2nd, Al Unser 3rd, Darrell Waltrip 4th, and Richard Petty is 5th. And look at the battle. Here now is Ickx overtaking Parsons. They're coming to the last 2 turns of the race. This is fantastic, Jackie.
He overtook him on the outside. Now Benny Parsons has shifted, and he's on the outside as he goes through turn 9, and he's passed Jackie Ickx again. Jackie Ickx is the inside rail, though. He's drawing alongside. He's coming inside Benny Parsons. Parsons is out in the marbles, out in the desert there. Jackie Ickx is taking it, going into the final 100 yards here. Jackie Ickx get his race to Daytona.
There is the finish line, and it is, in fact, Jackie Ickx, who will go to Daytona. Benny Parsons will miss the final show on his most favorite of all racetracks, the Tri-Oval at Daytona. We'll explain that point situation to you and have a word with the winner when we come back.